Hello, kids, and welcome to the Domestic Disturbance Podcast. 3 comics, 3 opinions, 1 shit show. Featuring Mike Keegan.
Are you just going to talk over me the whole time? Is that what you're going to do? All right, thank you. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Thank you very much.
Carla Okerson.
I tolerate you. I think I tolerate you very well.
Tolerate me at all.
I tolerate you. Believe that. I certainly tolerate all your horse shit. Look at me, I'm being tolerant right now. Look how tolerant. I'm tolerating it.
And Tim Saliani.
See,
Bill Clinton suicides people was the name of my high school band.
Be sure and stop by the Domestic Disturbance Podcast Facebook page to check out any new shows, upcoming events, or to leave us some hate mail. Music from our podcast is from the hardcore band Bore. You should check them out on Spotify and Bandcamp, where you can put a little something in the hat for them and purchase their music like good little consumers. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the arguments.
Hey, Bobby, good afternoon. Or morning to you.
You stink.
Shut up.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Hi. Hi, Mike.
How are you, buddy? Good to see you.
Howie. Thor.
Everything's good. Can't complain. Hanging in there. How's everybody doing there? Everybody's feeling good?
What do you mean? It's California. I can't go on the red carpet. And these people, they're really upset.
Your tan looks good.
Oh, thank you. What else is there to do? I go in the pool.
Exactly. There's nothing else to do.
Your nails look better than mine.
Oh, yeah, right. I don't. It's crazy. I've been home. I put on 465 pounds. Crazy. It's California.
Carla's my girlfriend. We have breakfast.
Pleasure to meet you.
And this is Tim Saliani.
Tim.
Hey, how you doing?
So, Carla and I, we sit at breakfast and think about what we're having for lunch and dinner. That's what we do all day.
Yeah, look at this life. I haven't been home for 2 weeks in 40 years. Now I'm home for 9 weeks, and I'm ready to die.
Outside.
Exactly. But, it's good to see you. Thanks for doing this. We're happy to have you.
No problem.
So we were, we trying to get some veteran comics to talk about now that this is everything's shut down, what the future looks like.
I have Fruit Loops outside. You want to eat them?
Is that your daughter?
They're outside, Mikey, and I'm.
That's Julia.
Mikey, they're outside.
Mike, what's wrong with you? Like, take the podcast seriously. Why do you have kids floating around?
Seriously, the door was closed. But,
Are those your kids, Mike?
That's Carla's daughter.
Especially my daughter.
How old is she, Carla?
She's 5.
Ah, adorable.
This is how this works. She actually shipped her kids over to Mike's house so she could do the podcast.
Oh, that was smart. That was smart.
I originally had something else that I was doing at 1, so I have that with my older daughter, and I said, okay, so I'll give you Juliana, my younger daughter,
Right.
and then I thought I was going to have to do this from the car on Zoom, and then it turns out what I thought I had to do today is actually next Friday. So I think that's quarantine brain.
I know I was walking around the house, and then my wife said to me, she goes, "Don't you have something today?" I go, yeah, but I didn't get it at 10:30. I was supposed to get how to get in. I'm AOL. I don't know any of this.
Seriously, I'm the same way, and I just kind of started getting the hang of this.
How long you been doing the podcast?
We're doing it for almost 2 years, probably now.
You're kidding.
2 years.
What, a
2
year?
years.
I don't know. A year?
It's been since I don't know, last almost a year, maybe.
Who have you been podcasting with on the side, Mike?
Maybe 10 months.
So Mike's having a party in his head, and he didn't invite anybody. Okay.
Because the thing is, Carla's also a comedian, and her and I are very different politically, so we always fight on Facebook. So everybody's like, you guys got to get a podcast. So what we do is usually we discuss politics, and she tells me why I'm wrong and racist all the time.
Yeah, so Mike is a Republican, and I have a soul. That's
Right.
So, yeah.
When I perform, I show both sides.
Yeah,
Remember, I performed at Donald Trump's inauguration, me and Celine Dion. I'm one of his favorite comedians.
exactly.
Money doesn't discriminate.
That's fair.
People do.
That's it. It's all green. It's all green.
I took the money and ran.
Exactly.
How many times have you met Trump?
I'm sorry?
How many times have you met Trump?
About 35 times.
Jesus.
Oh, no, I've known him for 27 years.
That
You
makes
got to
sense.
remember when I worked with Cher or Julio or Sinatra, we always worked out in his hotels all over.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And, that's how I knew him. And he used to come to comedy clubs in Florida and to see me. And, I'm not a big fan at all. At all.
That's great, though. You're not a fan, but he is.
Who, Mike?
No.
Trump. Trump's a fan of himself.
No, I remember performing at New Year's when he became president, and he came over to me. My wife, don't do your politics. Don't do this. Don't get into that whole thing. Don't, Bobby. I go, honey, I'm a comic. I tell the truth and have fun.
Exactly.
So my opening line, I go, ladies and gentlemen, they introduced me. I go, ladies, and it's such a pleasure to be, and we have a new president. I guess orange is the new black. Hey, Doc. And then after the show, he came over to me. He goes, great show, Bobby. I said, thank you, Donnie. And I went, I'm sorry, Mr. President. And then he goes, did you vote for me? I said, I would have rather voted for El Chapo.
I stand by. That's not a bad choice.
I know.
The man knows. The man knows a thing or two about how to run a business, how to keep people loyal.
Talking about Trump, right?
Yeah, I was going to say.
El Chapo.
Oh, you got to sign a confidentiality agreement every time anyone near him.
Exactly.
I just can't believe I'm not I come from New York City. So to me, politicians were jokes. We always looked at it as like, are you out of your mind? You mean to say they don't pay for their kids' education? We pay for it. They get insurance for the rest of their lives. We pay for it. They don't do that. And these are the jokes that work. Remember, Trump in New York got 1% of the vote.
It's true. Yeah.
And that was Mike. It was literally only Mike. It was Mike.
It
was all Long Island.
Yeah.
Right. No, Long Island didn't go for him.
No.
Suffolk County in upstate New York.
Well, now they're seeing it. Who's lied 13,000 times? Who's made fun? I got a special needs kid. Who makes fun of special needs kid? Who's talking about the pussy? Who's had 22 bankruptcies? Who's, the New York, the cops call them bait and switch.
I thought you were talking about Mike until you said the bankruptcy.
What's that?
I thought you were talking about Mike until you said the bankruptcy thing.
Right.
Well, I've always said that. I feel like people in New York, we've known him for a long time. We know who he is. We know what he's like.
Well, that's my thing. I knew he was an asshole in 1987. I was 4 years old.
Right.
But that's what we had at the time.
No,
He was one of the Central Park Five, Mike was.
Right.
New York,
So who am I gonna vote for?
what a clown he is.
I'm going to vote for Hillary.
I would have voted for anybody. I don't vote for politicians, but I would have voted. The fact that this guy is our president of our United States is appalling. But look at the people that finally learned. And even the people, his deplorables, he wouldn't associate with them. He's using them for the votes, but they don't know that. Keep in mind, when you're dead, you don't know you're dead. Other people feel the pain. Same thing when you're stupid.
This Carla says that to me every day.
Now you understand the pain I feel, Mike, now that somebody else says it to you? Do you understand my pain, my daily pain?
Well, some of my friends who are very wealthy, they go for him. And I ask them honestly, why? Because eventually, and they go, because of money. And I said, because he goes, we could save so much money with this asshole as our president. I go, really? I go, but eventually, don't you have to look yourself in the mirror and go, take a good hard look and say, I can't go for a guy that does this. You know that. It's a good choice.
It's easy to
America.
feel about yourself in a Bentley, though. So I guess.
How's that working out for you, Mike?
I'm fine. But
How do you feel not performing?
terrible. I mean, my last show was March 15th. It was a St. Patrick's Day show at a theater, and I'm lost without it. I try to write every day, but it's just like I'm writing, and I don't even know when I'm going to be back on stage again.
I think it's important to mention that Mike's last show was a guest spot on my show at a St. Patrick's Day show at a theater. I just want to throw that out there.
Where
I
was that?
I did it. No, I did a show at Suffolk Theater after. But that was my last one.
Nice.
Yeah, that
Nice.
was,
On Long Island, I work at the Patchogue Theater.
Yes, I love Patchogue Theater.
Great.
That's one of my favorite places. I love there. They have great shows in the summertime. They play like old movies there, and it's like $5.
You and I worked at some shithole place out of Long
We
Island.
did. We did. It was 89 North was where we were.
I love that venue.
89 North. That was in Patchogue.
I never got paid.
Get out of here. They never paid. Wow.
Not a comic there, Joe something, Maloney.
Joe Milonis.
Never paid me.
Really? Oh boy. Oh man, that's terrible.
Do you want us to fight him?
Yeah, I might have to.
I mean, not a problem.
You know what?
Carla's all over that.
Fight him.
We're comics. The cream rises to the top. Shit floats for a while, then it sinks.
That's true. I'm sure you've seen it a million times. So.
No.
Oh really? Oh Jesus.
No. I've always gotten paid.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
unbelievable. Yeah, we know Joe. I know the venue. I've been there a few times.
All right.
But that was a cool night for me though, because it was my first time working with you, and I've always been a fan. That was always my biggest thing. My father used to work nights, and I used to come downstairs when he would get home, and we'd watch Stand Up Spotlight, and you were our favorite. So my dad got to come and watch me open for you. So that was the coolest night ever.
Oh, how great was that? We had fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. We didn't make any money, but we had fun.
I know. It seemed to be in a back alley, and you had a park in the back. I didn't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we all kind of grew up watching you, so this was like all pretty exciting for all of us. It was particularly exciting for me because I'm always talking about whether or not I should move to LA, and I feel like I had the same trajectory as you. Like I grew up in Queens, then I moved to Long Island, and now I'm like, so does this mean I get to move to Malibu soon? Is it coming?
The only reason why I picked up was Aaron Spelling. Remember Aaron Spelling?
Oh yeah.
90210.
He saw me in at Catch a Rising Star, and he handed me his card. He goes, "Call me on Monday. Have your agent call me." I went, "My parents?" And, I had a guy interested in me at the time, and he called him. He goes, "You know what this guy? I go, "No."
Here's my dad.
Anyway, he was doing a.
My dad
What's
says,
that?
"Put your head in there." There we go.
What's up, Bobby?
What are you doing there, handsome?
Wanted to stick my head in and say hello.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You know, you got this kid started on comedy. I used to watch you when I was watching him when he was about 3 years old.
Oh, that means I got a walker now.
Hey, wait a minute. How old are you? I think you're younger than I am.
64.
I'm 65.
Look at that. Let's pee together.
All right, come on over. See you guys later.
Thank you. A pleasure to meet you.
Too.
I forgot what I was telling you. I don't.
Sort of
I
a peeing
came out
together.
here. I came out here. Remember Eddie? I don't think you remember. You're younger. Eddie Mecker. He was on Laverne and Shirley. He was the big ragu.
Yep.
Oh, the big. Okay.
Yeah.
And they took him and I, and they used us to shoot a pilot called Rent-A-Cop, which we were two cops working together at like a mall and other things. We would get called, and we did a pilot for him, and they paid like $100,000. So I said to my then girlfriend, I said, I'm going to go out to California and do this. Everyone likes California. I don't know anything about it, but I'm going to go out there and stay with a friend. Would you consider coming out? And she eventually did. And we've been here 28 years, but I still have my apartment in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
You still have it now?
Huh?
You still have it now?
Oh, yeah.
I see the wheel spinning.
12th and Broadway. I'm a New York kid, so I love New York.
Mhm.
Yeah,
California here, it's really different. You can't beat how beautiful it is. You know, I'm 17 blocks from the ocean. I'm in a place called Santa Monica. It's a bubble. But the people here, they have an attitude about them. They're racist. They're not New Yorkers, you know. So
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a different world.
So it's more of a subtle racism and not so in your face.
Right. You know.
But yeah, because you're originally a Queens guy, went to high school on Long Island. I know you graduated with a history degree, right? That's
University of Buffalo, moved back into Manhattan, worked for Calvin Klein, did stand-up comedy at night. That
now
was
your
my dream.
the first club you worked, was that Catch a Rising Star?
The first
club you worked, was that Catch a Rising Star?
Oh no, it was a little club on 30th Street and 2nd Avenue. It was called Good Times.
Okay, I think I've heard of it.
Me, Brad Garrett, a bunch of comics that you know now.
Yeah.
And then one day I was lucky enough because the owner of the place was a prick. I think he died. His name was Rico. And he was friends with a guy. And one day I was doing my show and he called me over to his table. I was like, ugh. And I went over there and another owner of a club was there. And he said to me, hey, really nice show. I go, oh, thank you. I'm just learning. He goes, how would you like to come up to my club and work? I said, what's your club? It was Rick Newman from Catch a Rising Star.
Oh,
I
wow.
got-
I said, I'd love to. And I became an MC.
That's awesome. Very
So,
cool.
you know, just kept working.
And then it goes from there. And then
I remember
You were
all
did
the
you
events we
teach
used
in
to
Buffalo?
do. What's that?
Were you a teacher in Buffalo?
After I graduated, I taught high school 1 year, which
That's what
really prompted me to want to be a comic because I had 23 kids, 30 kids, and I would make them laugh and have fun.
That's
And
with me.
What's that?
That was the same with me. Actually, I graduated with a history degree. I student taught for a while. I didn't like it, but then I went into comedy after that.
See?
Yeah.
See?
I think Mike Hegan's a little single white female on you, Bob.
Yeah. Except he refuses to move off of Long Island. So
Don't get me
Where
off
do you
Long-
live?
I live in East Meadow on Long Island. So I'm right.
Where do you live?
I'm in Freeport.
We're Long Island, Jones Beach, West End 2. Park the car. You walk 43 fucking miles to the water.
Through the tunnel.
And the Jewish girls, come on, we got to move the blanket. The sun's shifting.
Exactly.
I love Long Island. I do. I really like Long
I
Would you
love
move
it.
back? Would you move back?
Island. No, because of the traffic.
Yeah.
But I've
It's-
heard the traffic in California is equally bad.
Yeah, but I live in this little bubble called Santa Monica, right by the ocean.
Mhm.
And north of me is Malibu, south of me is Venice, and then Manhattan Beach, Redondo Beach, Hermosa Beach. So as a comic, when I'm writing something and I want to try it out, I run down to Hermosa Comedy and Magic Club, which is in Hermosa Beach. It's like a half-hour ride from me, and I work it out. When I'm in New York at my apartment on 12th and Broadway, I run down to the cellar and work it out.
Excellent. Yeah.
You know, we need that. That's
Yeah.
because we're circus people. We're carny.
Exactly. Because I live 3 minutes away from Governor's Comedy Club, so that's my home.
God. How's
Yeah.
Governors doing?
It's great. This podcast actually they broadcast it through Governor's Radio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Governor's doing great. I mean, they're waiting to open back up, but anxiously awaiting.
Oh, anxiously. He's probably at the door. Come on, I gotta open this up. Come on. Money.
Yeah. So I can't wait to get. When was the last show that you did? How long ago was that?
At Governors?
Oh no, anywhere before they stopped us.
The last show I did was this Count Basie, my show, the Count Basie Theater in
Jersey.
Fort Lee, New Jersey.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And it was I almost died. It was the virus. You started to hear about it. It was 1,200 people, sold out. And I looked at the audience. I go, there's a virus going on. They're telling you not to touch your hand. I went to pee. I used my elbow. I go like this. And you're all out on a Sunday night? No, I couldn't. And then the next 2 nights later, I was, because I have a special needs daughter. And we were down in Florida doing Comics for a Cause.
Okay.
And, me, Ray Romano, Colin Quinn, everyone comes down to do it to help out.
Yeah, I was there the last time you did it at the cutting room.
Yes, you remember?
Yeah, that was a great show.
That was a fun night.
That was a lot of fun that night. Chris Roach hosted. That was fun.
Do you have to take any special precautions for your daughter? Because like, does she have any health issues that you have to like take further precautions because of the quarantine?
Oh yeah, we have help for her, but we're very careful in here in our home of who walks in and who's. You know, we have out on the lawn a lot of chairs, and we all sit out there with friends and have a drink. You know, and but we don't let anybody in the house near her.
Yeah.
She doesn't walk, she doesn't talk, but she's the apple of our hearts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. But yeah, that was a great show though. Chris Roach was the best. I think he sweated through about 3 or 4 shirts.
He's been my opening act in theaters, and then he went over with Kevin James, and I went with John Ziegler from Long Island.
Yep.
And I use both of them now. Well, not now, but when things got better.
Yeah, exactly.
I do a podcast. I did a lot of videos because I'm home.
Yeah,
Carla,
I've been watching your videos.
You seen some of them?
Yeah.
Silly shit. You know, I'm having fun just for my head.
Yeah, exactly.
And then people started to call me producers. Bobby, can we do a podcast? No.
Yeah.
They go, why not? I don't want it. So when did you start comedy? And how old were you? I don't give a shit. You know?
Exactly.
And then he said, well, would you perform? I go, no, I'm not going to go in a little box. Hi, hey, you know what? My wife's Italian, hairy woman. We thank you a lot.
Talking into a wooden spoon.
Thank you. So he said, what would you do if you could? I said, sit around with comedians, fellow comics, as if we're in the green room, just fooling around and fucking around and laughing just before we go on the stage.
Which is like the highlight of my week.
Yeah.
Right.
Highlight.
See what I mean?
The highlight of my week.
Because we'll get together and we'll talk about, oh my God, my wife had me call up something called Spectrum. You ever talk to these people on the phone? Oh, are you residential or are you business? Well, I don't know. Well, sir, what's your ID? You know, I can't.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing is, as comics, that's the most fun we have is talking in the green room. That's where most of the funny stuff happens. And as audience members, they want to know what we're talking about backstage. That's the perfect kind of combination.
I told the guy I would do that. So I've done 7 of them already. Every Wednesday, a new one comes out. This past week, it was me, Ray Romano, and who was it? Adam Ferrara.
Adam Ferrara. Okay, nice. Oh, excellent.
Last week. What?
I'd say, and I saw you had Ziegler and Roach on was it the first one, I think?
First one.
Yeah.
Just to see how it goes. And they're lunatics, you know, Long Island. Well, I was busting their chops. They're great guys.
They're the best. I know Ziegler was one of my first friends in comedy. We used to write together. He's a hilarious guy.
What people don't realize, and I've traveled around the country many times.
Yeah.
People from New York, especially Long Island, are some of the best comedians in the whole country.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they don't know that until they go out other places and come back and you go, whoa.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't even realize how many people are from Long Island that made it and that are
wonderful.
What do you think that is though? Is it a different kind of mindset for people from here?
Yeah, I think because you're close to a metropolitan, the biggest city in the country.
Yeah.
And you also have the benefit of going out on Long Island where you can park your car and it's LIE and I can go here and I'm going to go there. But then we're going into the city tonight because we're going to got that inside of
With comedy, it's because you do have to kind of know how to switch it up because you can't do, at least I can't do the same set I do in Manhattan
Yeah.
I can't do that same set if I'm doing something in Suffolk County, and I already know that. I know that going in. And if I do the same thing, I can't. The same set that I did at Governor's, at McGuire's, if I try to do that at the Pear or at the Greenwich Comedy Club or at Dangerfield, they're not gonna. They hate it. So I think that's why you end up with a lot more material, because you know you have to be able to switch it up. If you have shows in the city on Friday and then something on Long Island on Saturday, you have to be prepared to face two completely different audiences.
I hear you. You're
You
right.
see, I was worried about doing the same stuff that I normally do out here on the island at Broadway, which was the last show that I did at Broadway Comedy Club, and I was shocked. They loved it. I was kind of blown away by it, because you're right. You know, the city audiences, they're different. It's a different animal.
Well, I challenge myself, because I'll go down to the cellar, and the average age, these millennials are about 23. And they're dumb as shit, all that on the cell phone. I challenge myself by giving them better, mature, not only material, my stories, and to bring them in. Because if it works for them, it'll work anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. That's why, I'm always in my comfort zone when I'm on Long Island, because I can reference Jones Beach and the LIE and blah, blah, blah. But when I'm on the road in the Midwest and everything, I do switch it up a little bit, and it does broaden your
You're a New Yorker. You're a New Yorker.
Exactly.
No,
But,
I love it. I love the back east. I don't know how things are going to change now. I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm getting calls now. Bobby, would you consider doing a drive-in? A what?
Either.
And I said, how does it work? Well, we have 200 cars, and some people, the first 50 people can sit out in front. We bring a truck around that has a beautiful stage. They open up, and the people here, you can see them. And I said, how much? I'm a comic. Business.
Exactly. I saw they're doing that in Atlantic City. They go on the back of a flatbed truck,
right?
And instead of laughing, the cars honk their horns. I'm like, this is getting ridiculous now.
Why can't they just open their windows and laugh? I don't think the horn honking is going to be very terrifying. At least it would be for me.
Yeah.
You're just standing there alone and all these cars are honking at you.
No.
We live in a country where there's one, no leadership. Two, there's no communication. And yet people are worried about toilet paper wiping their ass. I don't think
That's the first thing. This virus is going to kill us all. I got to worry about my asshole now.
It brings new meaning to the phrase, shit hits the fan.
That's right. Exactly.
I mean, in all fairness, their heads are up their ass. So, and you're supposed to keep your face clean.
Right.
I never understood the hoarding of water bottles and the hoarding of toilet paper. Did people anticipate that they wouldn't have water in their house anymore? Because you can just take a shower. If you are running low on toilet paper, you can just jump in the shower.
We're 2 months into this thing, and it's already Oregon Trail.
You were talking about New Yorkers and look, just from talking and enjoying this with you guys and feeling very comfortable. My wife asked me to go to Costco at 8:00 in the morning. We get there at 5 to 8. There's a line like you couldn't believe. I'm not talking 100 or 200, like 300 people ready to go in. And my wife says, forget it. I go, no, I'll handle it. And I had a credential, a thing that, that you hang around your neck. And I walked over to the head guy and I saw his name was Denny. I had my mask on. I go, Denny. And I waved. He's looking at me. Do I know you? I go, Denny, where'd you get that haircut? I go, well, then cut my hair. And we were talking, and then he goes, who you here with? I go, my wife. He goes, is she online? I go, she's right over there. He goes, bring her in. Come on, let's go. We were the 9th person in the play. New York.
That's right. Exactly.
New York.
I like the fact that Bobby's the Henry Hill of Costco.
Oh, God. What a world we're living through right now.
It's so crazy.
People talk about politicians. Let's look at the picture at the whole. Trump is only a symptom.
Yep.
What's the big thing?
Absolutely.
What's happening around the whole world? God's saying, pressing the reset button, going, take a good hard look at yourselves. I bet you did. It's not about the money. It's not about the greed. It's about you. It's your heart. It's the inside out, not the outside in.
That's why we all got grounded, so we could think about what we've done. Now
Oh,
we're grounded
right.
until we can think about what we've done and come up with a better behavior pattern.
How's that working out for us?
I'm writing a new book, and I did a thing yesterday, a chapter on confidence. I was the shy kid, very shy, and had no confidence growing up in Queens because the other guy and my friend there, his name was Greg. I said, hey, Greg, we should be more like these other guys. They're personable. They're loud. They have a lot more fun than us. He goes, oh, no, I couldn't do it. You do it if you want. And I did. They popular and the girls like that. I put on the funny stuff. That came out naturally. Oh, I became the most popular kid in like grammar school. And I remember writing, I go like this. Now that I'm taking my break to hold up a mirror and take a look at myself, I looked and I was writing and I said, you know, that shy kid who became confident, now I'm looking back at him and seeing where he's come from. And
Yeah, absolutely.
how we still have it.
Exactly. That reminds me of a story that Chris Roach was telling me. I'm not sure if you remember or I do the story justice, but I believe he was opening for you. You guys were running late to a show at a casino. And you had to park on the top level of the parking garage, and they weren't. It was closed, and you're like, Roach, I got this, and you just pretended you knew the security guard, like, hey, you son of a bitch, how are you? How are you? And Bobby, how are you? And you got the parking spot. And that's every time I see Roach now. I say, hey, you son of a bitch, how are you?
That's what we do.
Exactly. We're New York charisma, and
I go to the local farmers market to get flowers for the family every Wednesday, and there's a line there. She goes, my wife, are you going to bring your credentials? I go, got them right here. Get right in. She goes, what number did you get in? I go, I was a little bad today. I got in number 3. We grew up like that.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Most of us, absolutely.
So this is the time that you really hold up. We're always holding up a mirror and letting the audience see themselves through our humor and feeling who we are, so they get to know us and hopefully come back and see us. Now it's time we're holding up a mirror and take a look at ourselves. Carla, you're really pretty. So
It took a pit crew in 3 days to get like that. Don't.
I'm changing the tire now.
You woke up like that.
You're just mad because we both haven't had a haircut in 3 months, and I still look all right.
I never looked good.
I watched it the other day. She goes, how do you think it looks? I go, ever hear of Gumby? Boy, you learn a lot. And there's the material, being home. You know?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Bobby, put the toilet seat down. Bobby, you never flush the toilet. Why don't you pick that up? Why are you drinking out of the container? You just had a bunch of nuts. Other people have to drink out of.
Exactly. It makes you more aware of the things that go-
You start developing weird habits when you're home all day.
Oh,
We decided that as a household, we all decided that we like drinking out of jars, glass jars.
right. Cool.
It just started slow, and now nobody wants to use a glass. Everyone gets mad if they don't have their own jar. That's just what happened. And these are 3 people in very different walks of life. A 5-year-old, my older daughter's 16, and I'm however old I am. Mind your neck, Mike and Tim. And we all just decided that now we drink out of jars. That just happened in quarantine. That's just the thing that happened for no reason.
I walked into a store the other day. They said, sorry, sir, you don't have a mask. Because I forgot. And I was starting to leave, and some lady said, sir, you don't have a mask? I go, no, it's all right. She goes, she gave me a Kotex pad with a rubber band. I wore it. We do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, absolutely. Yeah, I got kicked out of a dollar store because I wasn't wearing a mask. I'm like, I never thought I'd be kicked out of a dollar store in my life. But I actually got a haircut 2 days ago. It was
Black market haircut.
Yeah.
You went in and got a haircut?
I went into some guy's shed. He's That's
called
somebody passed me this guy's number.
Back out haircuts.
I sent him a text message. I show up to the house. I said, I'm here. And he said, I'll be right out to let you in. This big black guy opens the gate. and says, "Okay, go into the shed." And I thought that was it for me. First of all, and I go in. And he had it set up like a regular barber. There's a barber chair. There's a mirror. The barber side, and it was an actual haircut I got. But I felt like I was going to get arrested at any minute.
I thought you were going to get raped from where that story was going.
Yeah, right.
Did you see his haircut? He did.
Was it a priest?
He walked in there and said, "Give me the Bob's Big Boy."
Did you see Mike? Was it a priest? No, Bobby, stop it. Bobby, stop it.
That's
I got
amazing.
my first gig coming up, and I don't know if it's going to happen. My wife's freaking out about planes, with.
Yeah.
But my first gig is Harrah's up in Lake Tahoe, California, up north, Nevada.
When is that?
4th of July weekend. That's their #1 weekend up there.
Oh wow!
And they close April and May. So I texted the person up there yesterday, and I said, "Hey, are you guys gonna?" Because I gotta either make arrangements to get there, and they said, "Bobby, we're so sorry, but we don't know yet."
Oh wow! I guess it's so much uncertainty and everything, and then there's always the thing. You're not going to do meet and greets afterwards, I'm sure.
No, but I might drive up. It's a 7-hour drive, but it's beautiful here.
Yeah, if you can drive there, it probably makes more sense.
Yeah.
It's probably.
But then the next week, every year I go down. I don't do that many comedy clubs, even though I do Governors for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
There's a comedy club, and the owners, I've known them for so long. It's in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, called the Comedy Cabana.
I've been dying to go there.
And it's a great club. It's small, maybe 250.
Yeah.
But they opened up last week.
Oh, did they really? Oh,
and
wow.
Some lady on Facebook was talking to me, and she said, "I went last week." I go, "You're kidding." And I go, "How was it?" She goes, "There was about 100 people there. Separated, but 100 people opening night."
Wow.
My problem is I'm usually up in New York during this time because that's where I get my New York summer gigs, and I fly down from LaGuardia. Now from California, you got to make 1 to 2 stops. I don't want to.
No, absolutely.
No.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that will be more marketable now if we send out our headshot, our credits, our avails, and my coronavirus antibody test? Because I already had coronavirus, so I have antibodies.
We all did.
Does that make us more marketable?
You guys were all sick.
Yeah, we all got it. I think we all caught it from Carla.
Yep.
No, you didn't.
My parents got it. Carla's daughters both got it. Her sister got it.
You're kidding me.
Well, I have a day job. I know that's frowned upon by most comics, but I have children who enjoy eating.
Right.
And I'm an attorney.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Mike, you scored.
Yeah.
My mom didn't raise no fool.
The courthouses got hit pretty bad, I think, just because they're so packed. So I'm pretty sure either I got it from taking the subway to court or from actually just being in different courthouses. I think there were like 10 or 12 judges in the New York City court system that died because they're older, and there was, a lot of court employees got hit.
How bad were you sick? How sick, Mike? How bad, Carla?
I had bilateral pneumonia. I never went to the hospital, but I was home. I was pretty bad. Tim got it the worst. Tim was in the hospital. He had a pulmonary embolism.
Multiple pulmonary embolisms.
How long, Tim?
I was in the hospital for
Randy Singer. He owns the Boca Black Box.
Yes. Yep. I know Randy.
So, Bobby, come on. Can you give me a date? No. Theaters come first.
No, but you can tell him that we're available and we are not contagious.
Yeah, we all three of us have antibodies. We're more than willing to fly.
We can fly. I don't care. I'll
Fly
fly.
now? Honestly, would you fly?
I would.
I wouldn't fly, but I would do a road gig if I could drive there. But I wouldn't fly just yet.
I think I would give. Given the fact that nobody's flying, I think I probably would at this point.
I mean, I'd be thoughtful about it. Hi, Sugar Bear.
Hi, gorgeous.
You have in a few minutes.
Hi, Sugar Bear.
I'd be thoughtful about it. I'd take my own wipes. I would still wear a mask. I would wear gloves. I'd wipe everything down. If I'm going to sit there, I'd wipe it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would fly. Well, I'm in a different position. I already had it.
Well, I did have it. I did test positive for the antibodies. I have a high antibody count. I'd still probably wait a little while to fly, though.
How long were you laid up for?
I was. It was about a good 6 days that I was pretty bad, where I couldn't really leave the one room that I was in, and I was on the main level, and my bathrooms in the house are on the top floor, bottom floor. So whenever I had to use the bathroom, I had to climb stairs. Every time I went up a flight of stairs, I felt like I was going to die. That was the.
And Tim was in the hospital. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. So I don't know. As far as the future, I know that they're going to start doing clubs at like 50% capacity. You think that's really going to affect it? Because it kills like the intimacy of a comedy club. Everyone's all spread out now.
This is something we've never experienced in our lives, you know? And I like when they called me up to do next June for this 2 shows. One's a little bit upstate above New York, above Yonkers, Westchester, for a drive-in. And they said, Bobby, and the money was pretty good. And I said, you know what? I'll wait until see how it goes. I don't want to be the first one, and let me know, because I'll wait till July to see what happens.
Yeah.
But again, as a comic, and we all know this, my insecurity is like, oh my God, I haven't been on a stage in 9 weeks. I don't know if I can do it again. I don't remember what I did. Oh shit. I don't know what. Oh, I got to write down what I did. Jill, what was that bit that I used to do?
That's what it is. And for me, it's not even the money. It's just I miss it, and I feel like I'm going to be a little bit rusty. I did one virtual show. It was something I volunteered for mental health professionals. They do like a free show for them. So I did it. It was they wanted 30 minutes for me to do it virtually on Zoom, and I thought it was going to be awful, but it was actually okay because you could see everyone's reactions and
you could.
And about a minute and a half into it, I remembered my act. I started out a little bit rough, but
right. But I know this guy that's a boxer. He goes, Bobby, you got boxing rust. I go, what is that? He goes, once we start doing it again, it picks up.
Yeah, muscle. Exactly.
I go, but I got older. I'm peeing a lot. He said, you'll remember. You're good.
Yeah, we'll all be there soon.
And I'm pretty sure the bladder remembers the muscle memory. You'll be able to hold it. It'll be fine.
Yeah. But Bobby was talking about his podcast before. It's called Bobby's Virtual Friends.
Bobby's Virtual Friends. .com. I don't know.
Everyone listening, check out Bobby's podcast. He has great guests on it.
I got Chris Rock and somebody else. I don't know.
Oh, awesome! Very cool. Everyone listening, check it out.
What we did. We did 35, 40 minutes already like that.
I know. It really, it's just a conversation. We're catching up with each other, So, but
that's the way it should.
We do thank you.
Money back.
What's that?
Get my money back.
Oh, we're on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start working on it now. I know where he lives.
I'm gonna fuck him up.
Look at Carla. I'll fuck that motherfucker up.
No, she will.
Oh, she'll do it too.
Colombian.
There's no ring rust in those hands.
I gotta run, but it was a pleasure to meet you, Carla. Tim, thank you.
Bobby, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do it again, buddy.
Bobby, thanks so much. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you around the clubs.
You got it, buddy. Say hello to Long Island.
Absolutely.
Will do.
Have a great day, Bobby. Thank you.
Bobby Collins, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end, my only friend, the end of our elaborate plans.
All right, we are live now. We hope you guys enjoyed our interview with Bobby Collins. He's the best. Thank you, Bobby. Thanks for tuning in to Domestic Disturbance. We have a lot of fun stuff to talk about now. I'm Mike Keegan. If you haven't watched, we're 3 comics that shoot the shit and argue and We have a special guest, Chris Longito is here. Thanks for coming, Chris.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Chris, one of our
I'm not so
friends from,
special. Let's go with guest. Not special guest, guest.
we think you're very
We have a
special.
guest.
You're very, very special. Everyone thinks you're special.
I'm definitely special.
We had Bobby Collins, one of the most legendary comics, and this is our special guest, Chris Longito. Yeah.
You're the
Yeah.
special one. You are.
Someone you've never heard of.
Chris is one of the co-hosts of the Films on Top podcast, which with Tim and that's we're all friends of the show. So we're fun.
So he's like our step host.
Yes, that's correct.
Right. Like
He's our step host.
you are responsible for me, but you don't really care about me.
Correct.
I feel like it's the opposite. Like we care about you, but we're not responsible for you. So we can just let you run rampant, and we can just be like, he's not one of our hosts, but
yeah, we're comedians. We have bookings to worry about. That's
true.
a lot of fun.
it was so awesome to be able to talk to him.
Yeah.
I really grew up watching him.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Very good guy. We
But
did.
it's cool talking to Chris too. Chris also a lot of fun to talk to. So, grew up watching him.
He didn't know, but I grew up watching him. Yeah.
Was watching him from my car with
Can't wait to hear the interview.
So, like, you wanted Chris on today for a particular reason, right? Because we're talking about ice cream trucks.
Oh.
If I could just, for a moment, if you're going to talk about something that's racially charged, you don't have an N-word pass. You don't have one. So
I know this, Carla.
Not hard R, not A. You don't have a pass. You don't.
Tell me this like every day.
Okay.
But we're all
I
familiar
don't
with
think any of us do. except Tim.
I don't think I do. I just like to remind Mike that he does not. 100%.
I think I do when I'm alone in my house playing Madden and I throw an interception. But it really has like all the
I give up
out of my hair. Yeah. Well, before we go into the thing we had Chris here for, I'll talk about my hair. We touched on it with Bobby Collins.
Your hair looks like you might be in line to rule North Korea.
Thank you very much.
So does your face.
I've been dying the last couple of weeks. My hair grows weird. I need a haircut. I have to get a haircut every 2 weeks. I've been dying. So finally, I was hipped to an underground haircutting ring, and I was hipped. They hipped me.
Yeah, arguably more. Don't do that. Don't. Someone gave you information. That was it. Somebody gave you a phone number.
I was given the information of an underground haircutting ring, and I was desperate, and I texted this number, and it was actually a woman, and she goes, my father gave me the number. It's the woman that cuts my dad's hair. So my dad messaged her, and he goes, "Hey, listen, my son's looking to get a haircut. I hear you doing cuts at your house." And she's like, "Well, I'm not doing kids' hair right now." My dad's like, "Well, my kid is 36 years old." So
I love that your dad is hip to an underground haircutting ring.
I don't know what
But you're not.
The guy just retired. Now he knows all these underground haircutting rings.
Oh.
So,
so you've just been blank.
Oh, so you were talking and we just didn't know? Oh, I like that about you. I like that. I like this new silent Tim.
Sounds about right.
well, welcome to the conversation, Tim. So,
Can you sort out your technical difficulties? I feel like this is the 15th Zoom meeting that you posted and you still haven't got it.
Yeah, last week you threw your computer against the wall because you just cut out of the meeting because no one could hear you.
yeah. Oh, I can't wait till we all get together to do this again. You're fine. So back to me. So I text this number and she says, "Okay, my fiance is gonna cut your hair." She's a tiny little white girl that works at a local barbershop. So she says, "My fiance is gonna cut your hair," and she's like a very like hipster kind of tattooed woman. So I pull. She said, "Just text me when you're outside the house." So I pull up to the house. I text her. I said, "I'm outside." She goes, "Okay, my fiance is gonna let you in." And then I see the back door open up, and it's this giant black guy, and I'm like, "No way, that's her fiance." But I guess
Why? Because tiny white chicks can't like big black guys? Like, what's the problem, Mike?
I'm just not used to it.
There's a whole category on Tube Galore on that.
Oh, I know. That's all I watch. I thought I was about to become one of those videos because he opens the gate and he goes, "Okay, go into that shed." This giant.
Ooh, I saw this one. I totally saw this one.
Did you?
Shed.
I saw this one.
Giant black. He looked like Marcellus Wallace. He tells me to go into the shed, so I go into the shed and he's behind me. I open the door, and dude, it was set up like a legit like barbershop. Like there's a barber chair, a mirror. The guy doesn't say a word to me the
Mirrors
whole time.
on the ceiling, lube everywhere. I saw this one.
About a size 14.
Then he gently bends me over. No,
when I saw it, it wasn't gently at all. That was the hot part.
So the guy doesn't say a word to me the whole time because he's still like doesn't know if I'm a cop or not. Like he was like kept looking out the door. It was really like awkward. And then at the end, he cuts my hair. I think he did a pretty good job. I think he did a pretty good job. And then at the end, he goes, "Okay, here, look at it in the mirror. I'm about to do my finish." I'm like,
on
"What
your
the
face? On your face?
What the hell does that mean?" Yeah,
I know what that means.
I didn't know. I'd never want to hear a giant black man tell me he's about to give me his finish.
God.
I believe they call it the money shot.
Exactly. So, and this is the
He
first
dunked on your head.
first thing the guy said to me in 30 minutes, and he's just like didn't even crack a smile the whole time. I'm trying to talk to him. Like I introduced myself. I'm like, "My name is Mike." He didn't even give me his name. But so his finish apparently, he takes like a mint oil, and he massages. And then he puts a hot towel. Yeah. And it was just my head was tingling. I was all relaxed. Now he's like joking around for me.
You know that Chris likes. Chris is the type of guy that likes back alley massages and stuff. Tell him about the the two masseuses on the beach that fought over your business.
Yeah.
What do we mean by business? Like, does that mean you're junk?
No. We were in Barcelona. It was my wife's 40th birthday, so I took her on a trip to Europe. And apparently there's two businesses on the beach in Barcelona. Indian guys selling like draperies that you use as blankets, and Asian women giving massages. And they're very territorial. So this one woman came up and said, "Hey, do you want a massage?" I was like sweaty at the time. I said, no, thank you. So she proceeded to work on this American couple that was sitting next to us. I went in the water. I got cooled off. This other Asian lady came up and asked me for a massage. And at that point, I was like, all right, now I'm good. I'm in the mood. I'm cooled off. I lay down on a towel in the sand. And all of a sudden, I start to hear yelling in Chinese or whatever one it is. And they're screaming at each other and pointing and yelling. And my wife just takes out her phone and she just starts like turning the video side to side to capture all this. And I'm getting the most aggressive massage I've ever gotten because this lady is angry and yelling at the other lady, massaging the other American. She's killing me. Nothing. Like, shit. No, it was not relaxing at all. And then all of a sudden, she jumps up and kicks sand in my face. The other one hops up, and they just start throwing fists. They're punching each other. They're ripping each other's shirts off. They were beating the shit out of each other. They had to be separate. What?
Did you have to pay extra for that?
No, not at all. But what sucks is I paid my money and I didn't really get a full massage because they got into a fight. But yeah, we have video of it. It's hilarious. And very territorial.
Were you like, ladies, can you take this to my back, please? and I get out of my back.
And can you kick sand in my face again? That was kind of hot.
Right, that was hot. I mean, my eyeballs need it. It's part of how I get off. But no, it was quite funny.
That is awesome.
I've never seen two women get into a fist fight over who could massage me.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, they're usually like, you go, you take it.
They usually fight over who's not gonna do it.
Right. Can you do this one? Because when I go to get my pedicure, I usually get like a 30-minute foot and leg massage and then a 30-minute back massage. And there's this one lady that is like designated to handle me when I go in. And every time I walk in, what was that?
She's like the gimp at that salon.
Dude, every time I walk in, I just see her face. She's like, oh. Now, I give her a really good tip, but she's just so downtrodden the second I step in the salon because she. But yeah, I had two Chinese ladies fighting over me in Barcelona about a massage on the beach.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, when I was in Costa Rica, and there was this town that we were in. It's called Jaco Beach, and the whole town is just hookers. Like no regular women live there. It's just like in the day.
There's a sea of hookers.
Serious, that's all it really is. Like you walk around there in the daytime, and you see these women. They work at like ice cream shops or restaurants, and then at night, those same women are hookers at the two bars that they have there. There's two bars. One is called the Beetle Bar, and one was called I forget the name of the other one.
Tim, are you purposely silent, or
I don't know if I'm purposely silent. I'm not trying.
I feel like we have to keep checking on you.
Right? Yeah. Tim's like, I know the Beetle Bar.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that,
and you literally you walk in there and they're lined up, and you pick which one you want, and you go back and they have a guy that checks their IDs at your hotel and stuff. And like that's the whole economy of that town. But the night we were there, at the end of the night, there were two of them just beating the shit out of each other over some guy. And the police in Costa Rica, they were just parked across the street watching it. It was awesome. And then like at the end,
great.
Then at the end of the fight, the cops pull up to try to arrest one of them or two of them, and one of them just takes the other one's head and just starts slamming it in the cop car door. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Were you that guy that they were fighting over, Mike?
Unfortunately, I was not. I already completed. So
you'd already picked your hooker for the evening?
Yeah, I did. But
grimy.
My friend was the guy, but I was not the guy.
Grimy. It's gross.
Yeah. Gross. But that's just a land of debauchery, Costa Rica. But yeah, my friend Jay used to just pay hookers to spit in his mouth.
What's the going rate for that?
Yeah, how much? Like I'm not working right now, and I have saliva. What's the going rate on that?
25 colones.
What is it in dollars?
Like it's like 35 cents.
Like $2.
$2. What if I mean $20? Just running around spitting on people.
Yeah.
Spitting is, listen, you're not really debasing yourself. I mean, if anything, you're degrading the other person.
Yeah, exactly.
Spit in their mouth, grab my $20 and keep it moving.
All right.
There you go.
I think my going rate is going to be actually 25, and I will spit in your face.
Do you hear that, listeners? Carla Ogleston does house calls.
Now I don't do house calls, not house calls. We'll have to meet on like a designated corner, and I'll pull up, roll down my window, spit in your mouth, and keep it moving.
Oh, no in calls, Carla?
No. All drive-through spitting. We're in a quarantine, for God's sake. We're in a quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that flew before coronavirus. Now that's assault if you spit in someone's mouth.
Well,
Not if they're asking me to.
Didn't it happen to somebody down in Florida?
I think it's attempted murder.
It's not attempted murder.
Some chick was arrested down in Florida, I think.
Yeah, oh, really?
Yeah, well, she was at a bar, and I guess she was drunk and trying to kiss people.
All right, it happens.
Really?
And then when she was,
Who hasn't been there?
Then when she wasn't getting any play, she she called the cops on everybody for not social distancing, and then she got arrested.
Oh my God, that's so Florida.
Right.
Hashtag Florida woman.
That's so Florida.
So, here I am just listening to one of my favorite songs, if you guys can hear this. That's the ice cream truck song, right?
Yeah, it's every not Mr. Frosty or Mr. Salty ice cream truck. Yep.
Now, did you guys know that song is incredibly racist? There are lyrics. This has been discovered that song is originally called "N-Word Want a Watermelon."
Wait, what?
And yeah, that's the original title of the song.
Guys, I'm hearing from the fans that they can only hear Tim.
No, everything's back. I just checked it out. Settle down. We're talking about a song, Carla.
I just wanted to let you know, Tim.
Yeah, so the original title of that song is called "N-Word Love a Watermelon," and it's derived from an old minstrel song called "Turkey in the Straw."
Yeah.
And one of the lyrics go, it starts off, I guess this guy's name was Harry C. Brown, is the composer, and it begins with him yelling, "You N-words, quit throwing them bones and come down and get your ice cream." And then a black man comes in incredulously saying, "Ice cream?" Sorry for the racism. And
sorry for the racism.
Then the composer comes back in and goes, "Yes, ice cream. Colored man's ice cream. Watermelon." And then that's terrible. But then the lyrics go, "And we're loving watermelon, ha ha ha." And it talks about them being.
Who wrote the song? Alan Thicke.
It was the original theme for Growing Pains. And
Joanna Kearns loved it.
So it's basically, whenever you hear that coming down your street now, just know that the actual lyrics are, "And we're loving watermelon, ha ha ha." And I don't know, it goes to.
I feel like it's more racist that Mike says "N-word, love a watermelon" than the actual N-word. Carla, can he get a pass?
I'm super uncomfortable that this was Mike's idea to discuss. And that's literally all, like, he just really wanted to say the words of the song. Like, that's really just, there was no.
It's his two favorite things: racism and ice cream.
And watermelon.
Watermelon. Oh, the watermelon slushies we had the other day. They were delicious. But yeah, so I spent today writing my own lyrics.
Ethan loves the watermelon, ha ha ha.
That's fat shaming. So I've been writing my own lyrics, which I'm not going to share. Carla won't let me share them. We give ice cream to all the kids, but
no. By all means, Mike. Let's hear what you got.
No, thank you. Inbox me if you want to hear the lyrics that I wrote.
Don't inbox him. Don't.
So my son Connor is.
We serve ice cream, but only 2 white kids. Ha ha ha.
What is wrong with you?
Many things.
Chris,
so
what's your ice cream truck story, please? Please, God, what is your ice cream truck story?
My son Connor is 7, and he still loves the ice cream man, but like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, it was the peak of Ice Cream Man obsession.
Yeah.
Like he would hear him from a half a mile away, would come running, down the stairs, screaming, get money, basically the whole Eddie Murphy bit, just, I need money because the Ice Cream Man is coming. And my mother-in-law told him about, because we had Mr. Mike, we had Mike Frosty, and then we had Mr. Softy, right? So he was obsessed with Mr. Softy. He had a Mr. Softy t-shirt. He had the little die-cast cars that played the Mr. Softy song.
Was Mr. Mike the actual name of the truck?
It had to have been, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So there was Mr.
That's not
Mike.
suspect.
Not to be mistaken with Mr. Marcus, but there was Mr. Mike on the truck.
Welcome to Suffolk County.
Kevin will get that joke when I. There was Mr. Mike Frosty, and then Mr. Softy. So Mr. Mike played Camptown Races, and then Mike Frosty played Turkey in the Straw. And so my son was obsessed with the music, and he would he would go on YouTube, he would search for Ice Cream Man videos, and my mother-in-law told him about how the name of the song was Turkey in the Straw. So he went down. Now again, poor job on my part. I don't have any sort of parental controls or anything on his YouTube. He basically just uses my email account on his iPad.
He looks up twerking videos all day.
So I have caught him searching naked girls on cars, twerking videos, and I've had to explain to him, look, buddy, you're 7. I'm proud of you that it's girls, but you probably shouldn't be looking at that. But he started looking up Turkey in the Straw, and he went down this rabbit hole of old Al Jolson and blackface videos. And so he would, he'd be like under the dining room table watching his YouTube on his iPad, with a pillow and his blanket, and like literally step and fetch videos where it's a guy in blackface with a white ring around his mouth, just singing and dancing. He's like, Daddy, what is this? I'm like, so then it becomes, do I explain to him the whole history of racism? Do I just let it go and hope that he moves on because he's 5 or 6 at that point? I at that point I just want to just sort of like hopefully he just blows past it.
Yeah,
didn't happen. He went and got tattoos of Heckle and Jekyll on his ass. So
again,
he's in school with a bunch of black kids. Like he's not saying, hey, I don't. So anyway, I'm just hoping it goes away.
Did you just I have black friends, your kid?
Yeah. I mean, he's a kid. Like they don't think about any of those things, So Kevin comes over, and if anyone's familiar with Kevin Scott from our podcast, he's a black man.
He's your black friend.
He you know what? I think he is he's my best black friend. I have other black friends. He's the one that I speak to the most.
You know how white that statement was? You didn't just call him friend.
He's my best black friend.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with my best white friend.
Because it fits into the context of the story, okay? So he comes over. It was actually probably about a half an hour before we were going to record the episode that we recorded with you, Carla, about the comedian.
Yes.
And so we're outside on the deck. I'm Kevin's helping me get the microphone set up and stuff. And so all of a sudden I hear Connor go, hey, Kevin, look at this video. And I'm like, and my eyes just bug out of my head. My heart stops. And literally he showed him the Turkey in the Straw blackface video. And I was like, oh my God. And because I haven't explained to him, because I'm hoping it goes away. I haven't explained to him how offensive this might be to a black person. And he didn't go out of his way to show it to my wife.
Yeah.
He went out of his way to show it to Kevin. I was like, oh, fuck me.
And when he answered the door to Kevin, he said, "Hello there." Look at that.
And God love him.
YouTube's evil.
Kevin was a great sport about it.
That's Kevin, man.
Because because Connor's a young kid, he doesn't understand.
Right.
He was probably a little confused at like what it was all about, but he literally sat there and showed him a giant like song and dance with like 50 white guys in blackface singing "Turkey in the Straw." It wasn't the N-word loves the watermelon version, but it was bad. It was very, very.
It's bad
racist.
enough.
And I mean, the white ring. It was awful.
He's gonna have his own. He's gonna have his own ice cream truck one day, and it's just gonna sing the fucking "House Next Door to Me" as he rolls down the block.
Right. Yeah. Or it's just gonna be the Ice-T song.
It's gonna be an Ice-T song.
NIG.
Dude,
This is me blasting that as he drives down the street.
That's a great story.
But yeah, it was again, it would have been worse if I didn't know Kevin and he wasn't so cool about it. And again, it wasn't. My son wasn't going out of it. Well, maybe he was going out of his way to be racist. Now that I think of it, I need to talk to my son because he was probably.
It would have been
going
different.
out of his way.
It was like the plumber that came over.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
But it was embarrassing and I felt terrible. But again, I didn't want to like jump down his throat in front of Kevin and be like, "Hey, that's highly offensive. Don't do that."
Explain why it's offensive because they have no idea.
Right.
But,
right. Exactly.
So would you say he grew out of that? Is he still looking at that? How'd you address that? Did you?
He said, "Cut your own damn holes."
Right. He still loves the ice cream man, but now he holds him up with a gat and he gets his ice cream for free.
Wait, listen. Tell them about the time that the cops were down the road and Connor came out of the house dressed like Deadpool.
Oh God!
What the?
Hey, kid's a disaster. Yeah, so there's a guy that lived on our block, a couple houses down. He tried to sell it, but it was structurally unsound, and so he couldn't sell it. But he was moving to Florida, and so he just left. And the house has been sitting sort of unoccupied for a long time. And one day we found like an insulated lunch bag like on the steps, and it had a couple bags of powders. It had some pills. Like it was a bag of drugs.
Oh, that was the thing after I came over to record the podcast at your house.
Right, exactly. And I'm such like a fucking douchebag that I call the police immediately. I'm like, "Hey, look, there's drugs at this house." Like I didn't even try any of them.
100% that person.
Yeah.
Welcome our guest, Karen.
Right. I'm like, "Can I speak with the manager, please?" So we called Suffolk County cops. They came to the house to take our statement, to look through the drugs, record like everything that was there, and as the guy showed up, my son came out dressed, and we got him a Deadpool costume for Halloween, like a really good one. It even had the samurai swords on the back, and he's coming out cursing like a sailor because that's what Deadpool does.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck, this guy's gonna think I'm a terrible parent."
Yeah.
And I might get arrested.
You found the bag, right? Is that right? You found the bag? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I'm such a dummy. I didn't think about like, "Hey, what's in this bag? Or is any of this valuable?
Yeah, exactly.
Would any of it be fun? Would any of it be fun to try?" It's like, "Oh my God, we got to call the police."
What's the street value of this bag? Yeah.
Right.
And I even posted saying, "If you want your bag back, give me some money."
It would have been.
I should have called.
It's awesome that he came out dressed as Deadpool, but it would have been so much better if he came out in blackface.
Singing "Turkey in the Straw."
And you're just saying "mammy" to the cops. awesome.
swear to God, though, like, he went down a rabbit hole where it was Al Jolson videos for like a month straight, and I was like, "Oh my God, I don't know what to do."
That's Americana.
Thankfully, he's out of the David Duke phase.
Yeah,
No, he went right into Freddie Mercury.
PD
Right.
But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, the ice cream truck thing was awesome. Like, I never knew it was like a racist thing. I had an awesome ice cream truck when I was in junior high school. Right outside my junior high, every day there was an ice cream man, and it was Chick's Ice Cream, CHICS ice cream, and it was just this big fat guy, never wore a shirt, and he was just this shirtless ice cream man outside the middle school selling candy and ice cream to kids, and nobody ever batted an eye.
He's just rubbing rocket pops on his nipples.
Oh.
Shirtless fat ice cream.
Tim, do you have an ice cream truck story?
I was molested by my ice cream man.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
But the circus pops were good, so you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You do what you can.
I mean, I just
scream into this Zagnut bar.
I got nothing. I would just go get my King Cone and keep it moving. Like, there was nothing.
King Cone, you are Hispanic.
Yeah, King Cone.
No, I was the wrestling pops that had the
wrestlers on the.
That was my favorite.
Yeah.
I used to actually get the one that had the I forget what his name was, but it was like a little cowboy who had a bubblegum nose. Anybody remember the name? I'm gonna look it up right now. No, it was
Jeff Bosey?
No, not Jeff Bosey. I mean, close. He looked kind of like Jeff Bosey. I'm gonna get the name right now. I'm gonna look it up.
I always did Chipwich. If I was gonna get I like soft ice cream, so I would get like Mr. Softy. I'd get vanilla cone with chocolate sprinkles, or if they didn't have that, I would get a Chipwich.
Chipwiches are a solid move.
Okay, it's called Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill. I remember. Yeah, you're right. Yep, absolutely.
Buffalo Bill. Hold on, we can pull up a picture.
He likes big girls, and then he shrinks them so that he can make suits out of their skin.
Well, in my neighborhood, like 2 different ice cream trucks would come. Like the one that would sell these things, like in individually wrapped, and then the Mr. Softy who did soft serve.
It rubs the custard on its skin.
Yeah.
The big girl.
That's the move.
Oh man!
I love that he says she was a great big fat girl, wasn't she? Like as if he doesn't know.
She was roomy.
Yep.
You're about a size 14.
There's a drive-in. They're doing like drive-in movies now on Long Island in some restaurants. One of them is showing Silence of the Lambs, I think, next week. I'd love to go see it.
That's a good movie to eat.
With liver and fava beans.
All right, exactly.
Yo, speaking of opening shit, what do you think about people coming out from the city? Like for beaches and shit. Like, you think they should be barred?
Only because de Blasio is such an asshole.
This is so stupid. It's turning into a pissing contest.
Yeah, the way that he handled it, he's just saying, he's like, Nassau County and Suffolk County should let us in, but I'm not going to open our beaches. Fuck him. I just want to piss him off. I really don't mind. But at the same time, if they're only letting 50% capacity at the beaches, we should get first shot at it. And everything's going to fill up by 10, 11 o'clock in the morning.
Easily.
So it's going to reach capacity. We should get first shot at it.
My thing is, too, at the beach, I don't want anybody within 6 feet of me anyway. Like, so I don't see how it's going to be any different. Like, stay away. Give me my space.
I've never once in my life been on a beach where people were closer than 6 feet from me.
I'm gonna bring a bag of broken bottles and just strewn them within a 20-foot diameter.
There's this guy. He made this thing, and it's like a giant tarp, and in the middle of the tarp is like a 12-foot area where you could sit in. It's cut out, so that's like the sand you sit on, and then nobody's allowed in the surrounding tarp. And then it folds up into like a little suitcase that you can carry to and from the beach. It's like a social distancing tarp.
That sounds annoying.
It sounds annoying, and I would fucking despise anyone that actually used it. It's a good idea, though.
I would slip and slide all over that thing.
Shit to the beach. I'm not bringing a suitcase full of tarp.
Suitcase full of tarp.
Guesstimate 6 feet and stay the fuck away from me. That's it. Stay the fuck away from me. Leave. Go. Guesstimate.
Right.
Goddamn idiots.
I agree, but like Chris said, like I've never been closer than 6 feet to anybody laying on a beach. Like I rarely go to the beach. I'm not a beach person, but
I've seen beaches be packed where it's less than 2.
And I never go to a beach like that ever. Before,
but you don't go to the beach. Also, I guess everyone enjoys the beach differently. Like I'll leave my shit there and I'm in the water the whole time. So.
True, and that's really, I think that's where the social distancing comes into play, because, you know, it's not uncommon for you to just walk into the water and be right next to other people.
Yeah.
You know, sitting at your spot with your blanket and everything else, you can keep sort of your own space, but then everybody just sort of rushes to the water, and I think that's where everybody gets kind of, you know, you get that Corona soup going.
Yeah, exactly. And it's tough to police that because a riptide just waved me over to this jerk off from Massapequa. What are you going to kick?
Exactly. Like you get knocked over by a wave, you pop up, you have no idea where you end up.
I don't want to be near somebody, but apparently I am. But I don't go to the beach anyway. I'm not a fan.
No,
I go to the beach, and you know what? Like if they're not going to open up city beaches, they should just either everyone open or everyone close. That really has to be the way it is, because if not, you're necessarily making a situation of overcrowding.
What was the point of de Blasio not opening city beaches, but saying that people from the city should go to Long Island for the weekend?
Yeah,
I don't think he officially said that. He just said he wasn't opening city beaches, so he never said go to Long Island.
He did say that he recommended people go to.
He said I would hope that city folks would be welcomed at the Long Island beaches.
Guess what? You're not.
Which, and then to Ballone's credit, he was like, "Nah, I respect the mayor, but." No, it's going to be Suffolk and Nassau County residents. And then de Blasio came back and said, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then they threatened to bar us from SantaCon and cancel SantaCon, which I was like, good, cancel that shit.
And
that's my birthday every goddamn year, SantaCon.
Yeah.
Really?
End that abortion.
That's ridiculous.
I hate SantaCon.
Ugh, which a fucking
the worst. They said they're going to ban people from St. Patrick's Day festivities and SantaCon. Really, both the worst things that happened. Well, I mean that.
First of all, it'll never fucking happen, because you know how much money the city makes on St. Patrick's Day.
Of course.
And SantaCon.
Well, I mean SantaCon's just.
And even the Gay Pride Parade. I mean, you think about in June, like people flood to that parade, and it's a huge money-making event too.
Well, if it's any consolation, Chris, if it's any consolation, Skittles is taking the fucking colors off their Skittles for Pride Month. So
that sucks. How the hell am I going to know what flavor I'm eating?
Right? Are they all going to be white or black?
They're all going to be white.
Eat Skittles? Skittles are disgusting.
Love Skittles, and your daughter just bought Skittles the other day.
It's disgusting.
You know what my favorite flavor of Skittles is? 9 toes.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Diabetes.
Of course you don't.
But
it's fucking.
I like wild berry Skittles.
Ugh.
I like wild berry Skittles. I like all Skittles. I love Skittles. I'm a big Skittles fan.
Sure.
I'm not a fan.
Oh fucking! I know what I forgot to goddamn make a video of.
What's that?
The woman.
Skittles?
The woman the woman that was trying to get into the shopping center without wearing a mask, that asked for the manager and then bugged out on the employee dancing.
Oh really?
Fuckerino.
I
Did you see this?
that. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. I saw a guy I know put a video on Facebook. You guys know Doug Hildeman?
I heard of the name.
Yeah, he's a comic from Long Island. He works at an organic food store here on Long Island.
I've actually been to that organic food store, and the people that are in there look exactly like the people you would think would have a fucking meltdown because of whatever.
It was
a bunch of fucking entitled organics.
Yeah, it was this woman. I'll call her a C word because she was.
You mean Karen? You're calling her a Karen?
Yeah.
Karen with a C, that's a whole other level.
Karen with a C.
Karen with a C.
So she refused to wear a mask, and my friend Doug had it on video. She refuses to wear a mask. He asked her to wear it. She asked for the manager. Doug is the manager. Then she asked for the owner, and the owner comes over and he's trying to get business from her. He doesn't give a shit.
That's
So
a
he's
Karen with a C move. Is you just go above the manager. You just move
yeah,
up.
so then give me the owner. Yeah, it's like the ultimate Karen. So she
Mega Karen.
Yeah, Mega C. So she the owner is on her side at this point and not the employee. And the owner's like, would you mind just putting it on? So she puts it on for like 2 minutes and then takes it off. My buddy, who's the employee, sees her again with the mask off. And he's like, you have to leave. You're not wearing your mask. You got to leave. The owner comes over again and he goes, just let her, let her shop. And my friend goes, he says, if you don't make her leave, I'm going to walk out right now. She's putting my health at risk. I'm going to walk out right now. And the owner didn't give a shit. And my buddy, he walked out and quit that night.
Quit?
He quit. He walked out that night. And then the next day he put in his 1 week's notice. So he's giving the guy a week.
Oh, wow.
Fucking A. Good for him.
How hard is it to wear a fucking mask for the 20 minutes that you're going to be in a goddamn
I don't understand the whole, like, this rights.
It's my freedom.
I hate. I despise wearing the mask because it's hot and I sweat in it. But
Sure.
I'm always gonna because I have respect for people that want you to wear the mask.
Right.
I don't enjoy wearing it.
Not to mention, it's an executive order from the governor. Like,
yeah.
A, it's the law, but B, what the fuck? Like,
I really wish like cops would be more proactive about ticketing people. Like, really make them take it seriously.
I don't think they take it seriously, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but they make people take it. You know what? At the end of the day, if you think about it, what people are complaining about with masks applies to every facet of the law, right? Like a parking space that says no parking here ever, a red zone parking space, is not intrinsically different from a parking space where you can park, right? It's literally the same thing. It's a strip of sidewalk, but people have determined that you can't park there, so people don't park there. The reason they don't park there is because they'll get a fine. So once you make it a monetary issue, then they'll start obeying the law. That's what it is.
At this point, it's not going to make a lick of difference. People are going to do whatever the fuck they want, and fuck them.
Yeah, let's make income off of these idiots.
In 2 weeks, when they're swimming in their own fucking lungs, then, where they're going to be.
And in the meantime, let's make some income off of them. $250 a pop. You don't wear a mask inside, $250. Boom, boom, boom. The cops make their ticket quotas. Karen, shut the fuck up.
Karens
Maybe
will never
school
shut the fuck
taxes
up.
go down. Maybe school taxes go down because they make money.
I 100% agree. It's a minor inconvenience. It's protecting other people and yourself. The idea that people are gonna stand up to the man by not wearing them is just retarded. So
I told you.
Fine them.
I said it last week. I'm gonna fucking take my pants off and head right down to a playground and just say, "Hey, it's my fucking freedom."
Hey,
you can't force me to cover up.
Well, that's the whole thing. So many restaurants have signs that say no shirt, no shoes, no service, right? So if somebody walked in there wearing no shirt and they threw them out, everybody would be like, what a piece of shit. He came in here with no shirt. What the fuck is wrong with him? So when it comes to that, private businesses have the right to enforce their, it's a private business. They can do whatever they want. And when it comes to that, it's fine. When it comes to the mask thing, all of a sudden, everybody's like, "You're my freedoms. My freedom."
I hope they fucking choke on hydroxychloroquine. Fucking assholes.
I don't know. I have my feelings about hydroxychloroquine. So
you think you should be taking hydroxychloroquine? Well, I mean, at this point, you've already had it.
I took it. It helped me. And I know a bunch of people that took it that helped them when they were in the hospital.
Did you,
Juliana?
Oh boy.
Hello, my love.
It's late and you're supposed to be sleeping.
I didn't know.
You didn't know? Well, now I
It is
told
Friday.
No.
I like the bow in your hair.
Mom put it in. Wait, Mom.
Yeah.
Mom put it in. She sneaked up and put it in.
She does that to me
Mom's a
too.
grumpy old mom. Mom's a grumpy old mom.
Okay, go to bed.
Did she sing "Turkey in the Straw" while she did it?
Nope.
Juliana, do you know what blackface is?
Oh my god.
Oh,
No, we're minorities. We know better.
You're not a minority. Look at you. You're whiter than anybody I know.
I mean, the most pressing news story of the week, though, was Ron Jeremy trying to save his childhood tree.
I know.
Yeah.
How adorable is that?
How adorable.
Save
Right.
Ron Jeremy's wood. Who's not going to get behind that?
Right.
How adorable is that?
I'm going to say the hundreds of women who probably died of AIDS that he's worked with over the years.
Are
Not-
we going to
Not that
talk
Ron
about?
Jeremy has AIDS,
More
but you know.
viruses than an Asian who ate a bat. Patrick Ewing's got coronavirus now.
Oh,
How
fuck
crazy.
Does he
no.
really?
That
Yep.
yeah, he's in the hospital.
Is he calling it Michael Jordan?
Yes.
He called up Magic Johnson to find out how to beat a virus.
Money. It's money. You
Every time he
put money
coughs, it
into your
says,
veins.
Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller.
9.3 seconds.
Are we talking
Fucking
about the
finger
Lana
roll.
Del Rey thing? Are we talking about Black Twitter going after Lana Del Rey?
I forgot.
I didn't see that. I'm not. Enlighten me.
You're not
I
on
didn't
Black Twitter?
see- I've been banned from Black Twitter.
Is it because you sang Turkey in the Straw?
Exactly.
It's a bit complicated though. Like she posted something. She posted a. Let me see if I can find it.
I've never heard a Lana Del Rey song ever.
What's the Summertime Sadness is the only song I can think of.
Didn't she
She
sing a
sucks.
song about birds on her windowsill or something?
I don't know.
Three little
I
birds.
feel like she's mad. I feel like she's
That's
mad
Bob
that
Marley.
nobody likes her and people like Beyonce. That's how her letter to the world read. Like, why does everyone like Beyonce more than me? That's what it sounded like. I have it if you want to read it and tell me what you think.
Go ahead.
Just
Let's
colored
hear
and
it.
you have to like her.
Because we're closing with this because it's almost 11.
It's almost go time. Okay. Question for the culture. Now that Doja Cat, Ariana, Camilla, Candy, Cardi B, Kehlani, and Nicki Minaj and Beyonce have had number ones with songs about being sexy, wearing clothes, fucking, cheating, etc. Can I please go back to singing about being embodied, feeling beautiful by being in love, even if the relationship is not perfect, or dancing for money or whatever I want without being crucified or saying that I'm glamorizing abuse? Hang on. This is like not flipping properly. Oh, all right. I'm fed up with female writers and alt singers saying that I glamorize abuse when in reality, I'm just a glamorous person singing about the realities of what we are all now seeing are very prevalent, emotionally abusive relationships all over the world. With all of the topics women are finally allowed to explore, I just want to say that over the last 10 years, I think it's pathetic that my minor lyrical exploration detailing my sometimes submissive or passive roles in my relationships has often made people say I've set women back hundreds of years. Let this be clear. I'm not a feminist. I'm not a feminist, but there has to be a place in feminism for women who look and act like me. The kind of woman who says no, but men hear yes. The kind of woman who are slated mercilessly for being their authentic, delicate selves. The kind of women who get their own stories and voices taken away from them by stronger women or by men who hate women. I've been honest and optimistic about the challenges in the challenging relationships I've had. Newsflash, that's just how it is for many women. And that sadly, my experience up until this point has been up until the point those records were made. So I just want to say it's been a long 10 years of bullshit reviews up until recently, and I've learned a lot from them.
I mean,
But wait, hold on. It's still going on. But I also feel it really paved the way for other women to stop putting on a happy face and just be able to say whatever the hell they wanted in their music. Unlike my experience, where if I even expressed a note of sadness in my first two records, I was deemed literally hysterical, as though it was literally the 1920s. Anyways, none of this has anything to do about much, but I'll be detailing some of my feelings in my next two books of poetry.
holy fuck. First of all, I don't
But
want
I
to
cried all the
Where
way
did
to
she
the
write
bank.
that? On the Vietnam Memorial?
On
There's
Twitter, there's actually more of it, but whatever. There's only like 3 more sentences.
Oh my God.
Fucking Beowulf, for fuck's sake. First of all, I don't want to cast aspersions on your relationships, but if you're that wordy,
Don't say it, Tim. Don't say it.
I'm not saying anything.
I can understand.
It's never right. Never right.
Oh,
But
right.
at the same time, Shut your face, dude.
Wow.
You could have just said, you know what? There's lots of things in life that are unfair, and left it at that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Your name is Lana Del Rey. I'm not listening. I tuned out after the first sentence that Carla read.
Also, her name is not Lana Del Rey. It's Elizabeth Grant. So.
Well, now I would listen.
I would rather listen to the moans in a hospice.
Oh, that's just so.
I don't even get the crux of what she was trying to say there.
I think the crux of what she was trying to say is, why does everybody like all these list of people more than me? That's what it sounded like to me.
Because you write shit like that.
Have you heard her music? It sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the problem. Like, why doesn't anyone like me? I think she's like, I'm putting out this music that's so from the heart, and what they're doing is trashy. Why don't you like me? That's what it sounded like.
That's just god awful. Like we didn't need a fucking 5-chapter, whatever on your thoughts on the music business and feminism. Just it's.
I think
that's like some shitty filmmaker.
If she hadn't done all the name
you don't
dropping.
get my stuff.
You don't understand. Yes, you're not on a plane to understand my art.
Right.
Self-importance.
Self-importance.
Self-importance. That's Tim's thing. But if she hadn't done all the name dropping, it might have been better. If she said like, "Hey, now that everybody's talking about this, can we talk about my sad sack music? Is that all right now? Like now we're empowered. We're
go swim in your money. You fucking nothing."
But everybody she mentioned is, say what you will about whether or not you you like that particular type of music, but they're talented enough, or they work with people talented enough to write catchy, hit tunes.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey writes all her own music, Chris. Okay, everybody else has tons of writers.
Me maybe girl.
So do I. By the way, I write my own music.
That's a different girl. That's Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh, she's got nice cans. I like her.
Mm-hmm.
Carly Rae.
Yeah, that song.
Is that the one that sings Friday or whatever it is? Carly Rae Jepsen?
No, that's the Hey, I Just You.
Oh, wow.
She's Canadian, I think.
The Friday girl?
No, Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the Friday girl.
No, I think that's a different girl.
Friday.
Eagle River. Holy fucking Christ. All right. Well, I think we've established the fact that Lana Del Rey is shit.
She's just she just generally said
she's terrible.
Would it have been less you're all men, like would it have been less annoying if she hadn't done all the name dropping of women of color, or just no name dropping at all, or is it still...
It would have been
less annoying.
It would have been way less cringy.
It would have been less annoying if she just didn't say anything at all.
Also, can we
just
talk
make
about
music.
Two books of poetry?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I love her. She's like,
many.
If you didn't get how I feel from that 8,000-word Twitter post that I just posted, wait till you see my poetry book.
Yeah.
God.
Wait till you see my desperation.
Who's reading that?
Yeah. Wait till you see my desperation compared to a tree.
Yes, I need a fucking Encyclopedia Britannica set of Lana Del Rey poetry right now.
I'd rather listen to Ron Jeremy poetry.
More like Lana Del Gay.
I'd rather listen to the sounds of Ron Jeremy scraping his cock along that tree bark.
Oh.
Does that make a noise?
I mean,
it's like a chainsaw, yeah.
I would think so.
It was impressive seeing him suck his own cock, though. I gotta say.
Yeah.
I met Ron Jeremy at the comic strip one time. He told me I had a nice rack.
What did you just say, Carla?
I said I met Ron Jeremy at the comic strip one time, and he told me I had a nice rack, which I feel like I was very, very. I felt like it was a huge compliment because he knows titties, right?
He does.
Did he then force himself on you? Because that's what he does, allegedly.
Jesus Christ!
He was very.
The thoughts and views expressed within, or not?
Yeah.
Right.
He was very respectful and maintained an appropriate distance, but he did look at my titties for a while.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
That's like Henry Ford telling
an expert.
in a nice car.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was flattered. I was like, go ahead and look, man. You're a man who knows cities, and if you're saying mine are great, then have at it. Take a look. Get up in there.
And at this point, if you see him, you could probably say the same thing to him.
I once had a glass of iced tea with the guy from the One Man, One Jar video, so I get it.
Oh.
Did he tell you had a nice butthole?
No, but you
really? Did you really?
No,
really?
He's lying.
He really broke that thing, right? Like he got it in there, and then he was like,
"Oh God!" I remember.
He just squeezed it.
I almost fainted when I saw that.
His mason jars tasted like copper.
And then just the fishing it out with like his full hand and just pulling out oh my God.
You're welcome, Govs Radio. All right, we'll see you next week.
4 comics, 1 jar.
No,
am I the jar?
No, just you 3 are alone on the jar. Leave me out of this. I'm not involved in this.
Those are the best. That lemon party was one of the best ones.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Meat spin.
Tub girl.
Mr. Hand with the horse.
Mr. Hand.
Lemon party? I gotta look at that one up.
Yeah, look up lemon party when we get off here.
Oh, stop it.
Okay.
Roar. All right, it's 10:57.
All right,
we're out.
Use up enough time.
Thank you again, Bobby Collins.
Thank you, Christopher
awesome.
Longito.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris, for coming and hanging out.
And thank you
guys.
Governor's Radio and Tony.
Governor's Radio for hosting us during this quarantine time where we're a homeless podcast.
Thank you, Governor.
Yes, Tony, Sally, thank you. Thank you, Governors. Thanks, Governors Radio. We'll be back next week with another guest or two.
Yeah, I think I just booked our guest for next week. Tentatively, we should have Gino Bisconti next week. If you guys,
not bad. All right,
that should be good.
Ooh, thank you, talent coordinator Mike.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you.
All right.
Later.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Domestic Disturbance Podcast, and if you didn't, even better. You can show us your disdain by sharing the show from iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Though honestly, nobody uses Google Play. Check out our Facebook page for any upcoming comedy shows or appearances from Carla, Mike, and Tim. Also, don't forget to check out our favorite band, Bore, on Spotify, or purchase their new EP, Bore 2, on iTunes or Bandcamp. We'll see you next week, Rageaholics.